Hello, dear viewers, and a heartfelt welcome back to our channel, your sanctuary for everything royal, riveting, and real. Today's story is not just another headline, it's a seismic shift in the royal landscape, a moment when the old order is being quietly but decisively challenged by the man who will one day wear the crown. And at the very heart of this evolving drama stands a woman whose courage and vulnerability have made her the beating heart of the nation, Catherine, the Princess of Wales. The joy that swept through Britain, and indeed the world, when Catherine returned to public life cannot be overstated. Her elegant reappearance at Trooping the Colour, followed by her radiant presence at Order of the Garter, was more than just a royal comeback. For millions, it was a sign that hope endures, that even the darkest nights can give way to mornings filled with light. People wept, smiled, and held their breath as they watched Catherine stand tall after months of silence and uncertainty, her strength shining through every smile and wave. But as the golden haze of those triumphant appearances faded, a new storm quietly gathered. Royal Ascot, a crown jewel in the British social calendar, a stage where tradition and glamour meet, suddenly lost its brightest star. Catherine's last-minute withdrawal was not just a scheduling hiccup. It was a bombshell, a moment that stopped the nation in its tracks and sent shockwaves through the palace, the press, and public conversation. For the first time, whispers of concern were openly voiced. What was really happening behind the palace gates? Was the Princess of Wales truly ready for the demands of public life, or had she been pushed too far, too fast? And so, the public's hope turned to worry. Was this a sign of a setback? Was Catherine paying the price for her courage, or was this a necessary step in her ongoing battle for recovery and balance? Now, thanks to revelations from palace insiders, the truth is emerging. This was not simply a personal setback. It was a crucial turning point, a moment when Prince William, so often the embodiment of royal restraint, quietly declared his own revolution. The battle he has chosen to fight is not on the fields of politics or diplomacy, but in the private corridors of power. The enemy is no longer a foreign adversary, but the deeply entrenched culture of duty above all else, the same iron code that, for generations, demanded silent sacrifice from those who wear the crown. A former royal staffer's words echo in every hallway: if she needs more time to recover, William will fight tooth and nail to see she is given it. This is not the language of ceremonial diplomacy. It is the raw, determined language of a husband who refuses to allow history to repeat its cruelest chapters. For decades, the palace has been governed by an unyielding ethos: duty, decorum, and discipline before all else. Sickness. Smile and keep moving. Heartbreak. Hide it from the cameras. Exhaustion. There's always another event, another handshake, another wave. But now, a new philosophy is taking root, and William is its chief architect. The message is stark, almost shocking in its simplicity: the princess's health and happiness are non-negotiable. Her recovery is to be respected, not rushed. If tradition demands otherwise, then tradition must change. This recalibration of priorities did not happen overnight. It was forged in the fires of personal experience, by the demands of a schedule that, just weeks ago, saw Catherine thrust into 3 high-profile events in a single week. The emotional and physical toll was immense. Behind the glamorous photos and carefully composed social media posts, insiders now say, there was deep fatigue, a reminder that even the most beloved princesses are still, at their core, human beings with limits and needs. Catherine herself is now leading a profound reassessment of her work-life balance. Her future engagements will be handpicked, strategic, and far less frequent, her presence moving, for the time being, from grand in-person events to thoughtfully crafted online messages and virtual support for her causes. The poignant written message she released for Children's Hospice Week, just days after Ascot, was not a footnote, but a flag in the ground: this is how things will be, for now. Catherine will speak for the vulnerable, the sick, the struggling, but she will do so on her own terms, and at her own pace. And William? He is her shield and her champion. Those who have watched him grow from grieving son to determined heir say this is the role he was born for. Having seen, as a boy, how the machinery of monarchy consumed his mother, how Diana was sometimes left isolated and unheard, William now draws on that painful legacy. His vow is simple, but absolute: not again. He will fight tooth and nail, palace insiders repeat, to make sure Catherine is not overwhelmed. This fight is not just about one woman's well-being. It is about the future of the monarchy itself. In stepping up for his wife, William is quietly reshaping what it means to be royal in the 21st century. No longer are wives expected to endure in silence, to sacrifice their health on the altar of public expectation. No longer is the institution allowed to put the show before the soul. William's message, clear, firm, and unwavering, is that the monarchy can only survive if it learns to put its people, and especially its most vulnerable, first. Look at the birthday just past, a telling symbol. Instead of grand festivities and stiff official portraits, William's 43rd was marked by a photograph of him laughing at home, surrounded by puppies, in a moment of pure, unfiltered joy. Taken by Catherine, it is a portrait of a man who knows that real strength lies in kindness, in presence, in love. In those simple, unscripted moments, we glimpse a new kind of heir, one who values his family above all else, who understands that true kingship begins at home. This new family-first doctrine is not only about survival, it is about healing. For their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, it is a promise that the sins of the past will not be visited upon the future. They will grow up in a royal family that values their parents' well-being, that teaches them the importance of boundaries, self-care, and unconditional support. Catherine's journey, as we know, is ongoing. Recovery from cancer is rarely a straight line. Some days will be bright and filled with hope, others, harder and more fragile. But Catherine now faces that path not as a solitary figure, but as a woman shielded by the love of her husband, her children, and a nation that has come to cherish her. Perhaps, dear viewers, what's unfolding before our eyes is not just a story about privilege and pageantry, but about the universal longing for safety, for unconditional love, for the right to rest and heal without fear of judgment. In Prince William's unwavering stand, many see echoes of their own struggles to protect loved ones from overwhelming demands. In Catherine's resilience, we find courage to face our own uncertain futures. What does this watershed moment mean for the monarchy and for all of us? Will William's steadfast protection of Catherine spark a new era of compassion and change? Or will the old forces of tradition and duty eventually reassert themselves? How do you feel, watching these deeply personal struggles unfold on the world stage? Share your thoughts, hopes, and reflections in the comments below. Your voice is as much a part of this conversation as theirs. And as always, if you believe in the power of love over duty, resilience over ritual, and family over facade, please like this video and subscribe for more in-depth, unsparing royal revelations. Thank you for being with us through every twist and turn. Your support means more than words can say. Remember, as long as there are those willing to fight tooth and nail for what is right, there is hope not just for the royals, but for every family facing life's hardest challenges. Stay tuned, the story is far from over, and the best may yet be to come.